Dinosaurs lived a long time ago. They were terrible lizards, don't you know? Some ate plants and some ate meat. Some ate fish and some ate beets.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Prehistoric Planet. Welcome everybody to another episode of Half a Clue TV review. Today we're going to be talking about Apple TV's newest hit series, Prehistoric Planet. Honestly, I was so excited about this one. Just like leading up to it, I was hyped, man. I was like, oh snap, yeah, we're getting Apple TV to watch different things like Pachinko, which sorry we never got the review out in time.
It might be like a one random side project, might be on a different podcast or whatever. I know we have a lot. We never know.
We never know. But yeah, so I was like so looking forward to Prehistoric Planet, and yeah, it did not disappoint. Spoiler alert. Okay, so I am Ron. I'm here, and I am joined by
Is Philippe?
Yes, Philip.
Yeah.
So if you watched Jurassic anything and you were like, man, my dinosaur, I'm itching for some more dinosaurs, go watch Prehistoric Planet.
Were you waiting for a dinosaur movie where velociraptors have feathers? This is the one.
This is the one. Although, weren't there like feathered dinosaurs in Jurassic Dominion or something?
There was one, and that one's like I forgot. I actually said the name on the podcast too when I did the Jurassic World Dominion episode.
Yeah,
but it's apparently it's like some mutated version or something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess so.
It's not a velociraptor either. I think it was like some. And it's not here. It's like on the Jurassic World Dominion for.
Yeah. It's oh snap! I think I know what it is. I mean, my guess is that it's probably the one. It's like there's this one feathered dinosaur. They found it. It had feathers, and then it like changed the game. Everyone was like, "Oh shit, they got feathers!" And then like it really changed how everyone viewed dinosaurs, which is very fascinating to me. Which is one of the things that like most people. Just a quick introduction onto what are our histories with dinosaurs and our fascination with them or not. I, like most children, was like fascinated by dinosaurs as a kid. I was obsessed with them. I had tons of different different toys and stuff that I would collect all the time and play with and whatever. And Jurassic Park was a huge influence on that. Also, like I was like I'd never seen dinosaurs like that before. I mean, it came out the year that I was born, so obviously. But like watching it like from very early on, and then eventually like Disney's Dinosaur. I don't know if you remember that one, Philip.
Yeah, I remember that one. I have a soft spot for that one. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I remember. I bought my aunt bought me the bootleg version off of the street one day. This lady used to sell atole de elote on the side of the street in LA, and then they would, next to her, there'd be like a bunch of like bootleg VHSs. And I was like, I want that one, and then she got it for me, and it's been a treasure. It's like again blew my mind as a kid because it's like it's just dinosaurs, no humans, but this one has like kind of an arc with them. There's lemurs, doesn't make any sense, but it's fun. It's like we just go with it. It basically becomes like Land Before Time, which again, Land Before Time was another series that largely influenced my love of dinosaurs as a kid. We're Back, the Universal animated picture, voices by John Goodman. The point is there was a lot of dinosaur shit that like really influenced me. But growing up, I was just like, man, I want to see like a real dinosaur documentary, something that's like, going to show me what dinosaurs really looked like, how they lived, and just like really just bring that shit to life. And it wasn't like Walking with Dinosaurs came out again like over 20 years ago at this point. Another huge one. That was another big stepping stone, but it never, all these other like documentaries that like BBC did and everything else that came out after that were like, kind of like dinosaur documentaries, even stuff like on Curiosity Stream and like, there's a bunch of other dinosaur related like, documentaries and stuff. The VFX were never truly there because they just never had the budget, to be fair. They could never really invest enough to like bring it all to life and to do dinosaurs justice. So Jurassic Park always kind of just had that benchmark of like, this is as good as it's going to get until now.
Yes, until now. It took in order to dethrone the Jurassic, even though the World Series has been shit, but they were still considered the king of dinosaur media.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It took the combined nature, the forces of David Attenborough, known for Natural World, the Planet Earth franchise, the Blue Planet franchise.
Basically, if you've seen a nature documentary, it's probably David Attenborough.
Yeah. It took BBC natural history unit, who's known for like highly scientifically accurate historical or geographical or even plant or animal based documentaries. And it took Jon Favreau, known for the Lion King documentary, and the Apple TV Plus, Apple's insane $1 trillion company budget.
Okay, so can we just say that I'm gonna give a shout out to YMS,
Oh yeah,
where he's been working on his Lion King video for like I don't know how many years now since that movie came out, and now that he's been released the part 1, watching it it makes so much sense. Because Jon Favreau just keeps talking about how it's like a documentary. It's like a documentary. Like this, we shot it like it's supposed to be like a documentary. And it's like, why was he so obsessed with making The Lion King like a documentary? It doesn't work. It's a story. There's characters.
Exactly.
There's
a fantastical story. It's it's lions who are Hamlet.
Yeah.
Right. So it's it should reflect the absurdity of kind of, not absurdity, but like the fantastical nature of that story.
Yeah. But from what I understand, he was working on Prehistoric Planet, at least on the early onset of while he was working on Lion King.
This whole project took a decade to develop, apparently.
That's incredible. Honestly, that makes me so happy that someone was willing to put in that much effort into something like this, and that's why I'm like, go watch it, damn it, because it's we need these numbers to get boosted. But yeah, it all makes so much sense because he was obviously he was in that documentary mindset
while making this.
Yeah, and it doesn't work for Lion King because that's a completely different thing, but for this makes complete sense. And man, does it work.
If anything, I think The Lion King was a great sacrificial lamb to
Yeah.
get us this. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, same with Jungle Book to an extent, which I kind of like Jungle Book.
The Jungle Book worked because at least they emoted kind of the animals and stuff. And also because it did keep more of the whimsical quality of the original.
Yeah, they sang a little bit and stuff. It's I think that one is they were trying to... they were all right, we're just going to do Jungle Book a little different. We're going to shake it up. Because Jungle Book, the original, is not a perfect movie at all.
And also they were
moments.
Hewing closer to Kipling's novels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then Lion King was practically a perfect movie on its own. And then they're let's just not do anything different. But also let's do all the important parts different.
Yes.
Whatever. Anyway, so with Prehistoric Planet coming out, it's awesome. So let's just jump right into it. What do you think about it? What were your first impressions, Philip?
First thing, because I know what we were talking about, the Jurassic World feathered dinosaur is called the Pyroraptor.
The Pyroraptor.
Yeah, and they just have one, but all the Velociraptors and stuff, they stay the same. Yeah.
Pyroraptor. Does he shoot flames out of his mouth?
I have no idea. Whatever. Okay, and now back to this Prehistoric Planet. I like documentaries. But I'm not what's it called, ferociously eating them up all the time. But I do watch occasionally, probably more historical or something like that. For nature documentaries, though, when I do watch them, I'm especially by David Attenborough, the Planet Earth franchise and Blue Planet, I'm very invested. So Prehistoric Planet, it intrigued my attention, and I know as our documentary guy in our household is you. So you told me it's really great, and then the reviews came out saying it's one of the best documentaries ever made about fictional animals, or not fictional, they're real. But so I was like, okay, I watched it and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. This satisfied my dinosaur craving. And I finished it right after Jurassic World Dominion too. And it kind of wiped the slate clean and took the fucking bitter trash taste of that film out of my mouth. And I loved it. I loved everything about it. The insane visual effects. Even the staging of certain sequences where they're David Attenborough's narration and the writer were crafting of certain animals trying to survive against others, predators, or them competing, or even the mating sequences.
Yeah.
The mating sequences were somehow my favorite parts of the series. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna try to go episode by episode, but yeah, the mating sequence.
Yeah.
They're so cool. There is a lot of this is the tricky part, obviously. So the big thing about dinosaurs or any kind of paleontology and everything is you have to piece things together based off of whatever fossil evidence is there and whatever like actual physical evidence that we can see, touch, and feel. But there also has to be a lot of educated assumptions made based off of behavioral evidence, things that we see in today, and things that we just kind of like have to infer just based off of like what we kind of see. So a lot of that comes down to the mating rituals because we don't really know how these dinosaurs mated with each other. So one of the biggest ones is like, I think it's in the second episode, Deserts, where we see the Dreadnoughtus, which are some of the coolest dinosaurs out there. First of all, one of the coolest names out there.
Yeah.
Dreadnoughtus.
Awesome.
One of the largest types of dinosaurs that ever lived. Titanosaurs, I think, or I might be totally wrong about this. But they also have those inflated neck sacs, which look so cool. There is no direct physical evidence of that being a thing. So the way that they justified it, which is I think is really cool, is that they basically all these dinosaurs have giant air-filled sacs inside of their bodies that they use for various reasons. They have huge spaces between their bones that allow them to have those like sacs in between there and everything, like birds do today. Surprise, they are their descendants. So the idea is that like on their giant necks, and it's not a completely original idea for them, but the idea is that like they would somehow use their necks in their mating displays, which makes a lot of sense. You just assumptions. They're big, powerful necks that they use for like literally just being able to live and fight and everything else. Like it makes sense that they would use that. So then the idea is like, okay, these giant air-filled sacs they have throughout their necks, they could possibly use them for mating displays. So then they made that assumption to that stuff because like there's no real direct physical evidence of like soft tissue in like different other kinds of animals too. Like look at elephant seals. You don't see like their giant proboscis noses on there, but like they can also like fill them up with air and do all kinds of stuff with it. So that's cool. That's a cool educated assumption. Another one, probably one of my favorites, is the Carnotaurus, which is I think that's the last episode. In the forests one.
Oh, that's with the arms.
Yeah,
right?
the
little arms stuff. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and then like he had the horns and everything, and he was because he's smaller than the female. Yeah, right. And so he had to do whatever he could to impress her, and this might be his last chance. Yeah. So he does the arms, he wiggles the arms, he does the tails and stuff like that, and I love the zinger at the end. She's like, she walked away.
Yeah. She's like, whatever it is, wasn't enough. But I love that because it's like, okay, that's been a mystery right now with like paleontology is like, what the hell do the Carnotauruses use their arms for? Because Carnotaurus may be one of my favorite dinosaurs. The problem is they just have these dinky little arms, even like dinkier than the T-Rex, who has like the little like at least claws. But no, they're just like these little flappy, useless arms. But not quite, because they have like, why are they fully articulated? And they have these like socket joints. That doesn't make any sense. They're like, why would they still need them? And it's like mating display. Like, oh, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's just really dope. So then they added like, all right, so it's just gonna do this little dance, which we've seen birds and other kinds of animals do very similar things for mating rituals and all this other kind of stuff. So it's like, yeah, that's dope. They even gave him that like low what's it called? Low vibration growl or whatever, which is something that like gators do and like elephants do, like large like animals that don't have that they can't make high pitched noises, but like that's a cool inference too. Yeah, it's dope. That's what I love most about this series is how the
level of research that they did. But then these are all educated assumptions, but also with like backed up with current animal behavior along with that, like as you said before. I did like that. Yeah.
And also it's just like they treat them like animals. We're not seeing dinosaurs like raging around in like a volcanic landscape, just all fighting each other like we always do, which is like that's fun and exciting. But
or
also,
even like half the times they're like, no, when Dave Attenborough was like, when the young cannot keep up, they're left behind.
Yeah, for real.
There's like half the series is about them leaving their young behind. Yeah.
Guess what? A lot of nature documentaries, babies die.
A lot. I guess let's go episode by episode. The first episode, Coast, which I think like instantly just like kind of zapped my attention into it when it was the Tyrannosaurus swimming with his offspring. But then what's it called? It's oh god, I forgot the name of the giant sea dinosaur that came in.
The Mosasaur.
The Mosasaur, right? The Mosasaur that came in and was
also another one of my favorites. They're so cool.
Yeah, no, it was super cool. Was that in Jurassic World? No, right?
Yes,
It was the
they
first
are.
one. The first one.
In the first Jurassic World, it's the giant sea one. The difference is in Jurassic World, they scale it way up. They just make it a lot bigger than it probably actually was.
Yeah.
And then it's the one that eats the Indominus Rex, I think, at the end of the first one. And then I think these flashes of him in the
third one. Yeah, he eats a fish boat.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But and that one, even that sequence of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and they were saying like it's a little tired, but it could defend itself. And the way they crafted that story by Paul D. Stewart, who wrote it, kudos to him. But then like there's a one like straggling raptor that was like left behind, and it just like ate it.
Yeah.
That sequence was very good. Already tenser than the entire Jurassic World franchise.
Yeah, and the way that they shoot it too, like
yeah.
it's like, again, it looks like there's real cameras that are dipping in and out of the water. They have like an aerial view and everything. It's not like super hyper clear or like super cinematic.
Oh yeah,
because it's like, again, if it's a real documentary, these are just like, you just have to imagine some camera guy just like kneeling in the bushes for for like 3 hours, for like 12 hours a day. So yeah, it's great. Yeah. So it's like, okay, so then after that we get some awesome stuff. Like you see the giant sea turtles. It just totally establishes this world. And again, like showing the T-Rex as a mother, and the T-Rex the babies have feathers, which is something that apparently a lot of people hate. The idea of the T-Rex having feathers.
Oh, and that T-Rex, they were like, I remember him eating the turtle and stuff, right? And then the the other offsprings were go out and like snatching some baby turtles that are trying to get to the sea and stuff.
Yeah.
Did one of them something happened to one of them, right? Or something?
Well, it's just like it runs around. I mean, the one that gets eaten by the mosasaur.
Yeah,
which is cool.
But on the beach, didn't another one of them die? No, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, it's just like it's playing with the turtles. It's like trying to like hunt the turtles, and then it just like goes away.
And the Alcyon hatchlings, they're like the ones with the horns, or no? Or no?
Which ones? Their first flight. Yeah, the giant, the pterosaurs, which was so cool. So that whole sequence was awesome.
That might be my favorite babies escaping predators.
Yeah. It's just like, it's so cool. So that they established like, all right, these are pterosaurs, giant flying reptiles, technically non-dinosaurs, but they show them like on the cliffs and everything, and they're trying to make their way to the coast, and these massive pterosaurs that are just flying out of the sky, just picking them up with the huge sails on their heads. Again, the way it's shot, so cool. Like you can see the visual like storytelling right there. Just zoom zoom. It's like, I mean, it's like practically,
even the staging too is just like what's it called? They first get up the cliff, they jump off, airless flight, they're fine. Then the large pterosaurs come up, and then like the babies have to think what to do. Their only escape maneuver by just flowing down,
diving.
But
even then,
one of them crashes into the coast.
Yeah,
and just get eaten by another Saurus.
It's like, damn, it's awesome.
And then their end goal was just to get to the forest.
Yeah,
like already better staging than Jurassic World franchise. If you're gonna have these shit,
Just to be clear, I have not seen Jurassic World Dominion, so I can't.
You don't please don't. The movie made like almost 400 million in like its first weekend.
Of course, it's a Jurassic Park movie.
Please, Top Gun Maverick, like stay on, take as much money as possible from that thing. Good for Top Gun. And what else was there? I think it's oh gosh,
I'm trying to remember which is the Taroganosaurus.
Like I said, there's a lot.
There's a lot of dinosaurs here,
which is cool.
Yeah. I love that. It's like they showed all the different types. Oh yes. It's like, it looks like, it's basically the one that looks like the Loch Ness monster. That whole sequence is really cool because so like they showed it giving.
Oh, I remember the rocks,
birth.
right?
The
rocks.
They show them eating the rocks.
Yeah.
They show them like having their babies and everything, because there is a fossilized version of one of those dinosaurs, the one that looks like, the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah,
the Taroegiosaurus. Jeez,
I'm sorry, we're not David Attenborough.
I know. Seriously.
Can you imagine he's actually saying half of these names wrong, but he sounds so confident and majestic.
He gets to do it.
Yeah.
There's a fossilized version of one that has a baby inside of it. Like, so they gave live birth, which is pretty crazy. That's a fascinating thing to know. And yeah, so they have a very close relationship, because once you get that big and you give birth to like a live young, there usually is a very strong
connection.
Maternal connection, which is pretty crazy.
Unlike the other dinosaurs that we see later.
Yeah, the other ones, it's like, because when they give eggs and it's like, there's like 10 eggs, sorry, and there's like 30 eggs.
Yeah.
And then like literally 2/3 of them are gonna like die, so they're just like, oh, that sucks. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to the next episode.
And then we talked about the dreadnoughts. We already talked about that.
The dreadnoughts, which is so super freaking cool. And then we get Velociraptors.
The Velociraptors, like I like the fact they were like feathered, small, and just like the look was like this is so much cooler than we actually have.
Yeah, they look super dope. And then just the detail, it's like,
oh yeah.
So I think that's another thing I gotta talk about is the CG. Some of the time, like most of the time, it looks fantastic.
Right.
But every once in a while, it's pretty noticeable. Like, that I don't know, like that dinosaur doesn't look so great.
Right.
Like,
I think so I give it a pass because technically, like, there's no real world. Counterpart to it that's alive, right? That stuff like that. But I do notice that sometimes, so I give it a pass like quite a bit. Yeah.
But I think for some reason in this desert episode, I feel like there was a higher count of like just really stunning looking dinosaurs. Velociraptor, again, fantastic. They were just like, we got to get Velociraptor right, and they did. Like its foot, its claw, very clearly based off of like different like birds and everything, and
huge talons.
Yeah, the detail. I'm like, that's terrifying. Even that's the size of like a large turkey or something. That's still fucking big. If that thing came at you, it could still sink in that giant claw into you.
Kill you with like one strike.
I'm like, that's terrifying. And they hunt in packs. Scary.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Even even like showing like little small details, or if like the Mononicus, I don't know if I'm saying that right, well, the one with the long tongue that was eating the termites and stuff.
Yeah, so cool. And then also one of my favorite parts, which is the giant toad.
The giant toad just eating one of the...
So cool. Back when
toads... Bedeviled, is it bedeviled toad or something like that?
Yeah, it's like basically the giant toad that just sucks in a little baby thing or whatever. Again, lots of babies die. It's like that thing, so cool, terrifying. The bite force of like, I think an adult lion or something. This is back when toads used to be a force to be reckoned with or whatever.
You know what? I could already see the title for this episode. Prehistoric Planet, aka Death of Dino Babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like what else we got here? The
Barbary dactylus.
Yes. Those are the giant the giant fins on their heads. The dinosaurs, the pterosaurs that were like showing off to each other and like kind of like showing the males. And then there's the one sneaky male that can like sneak by, but he pretends to be a female. He's like, oh hey, what's up? Again, really cool. Again, so seeing that like
kind
of
animal
stuff.
behavior and stuff like that. You know, it's like that's why like I was upset. I mean, this is like last. It's not really the last, but one of like side tangents for Jurassic World Dominion. I know you haven't seen it yet, and it wasn't in the movie, which I was really upset.
What?
Remember in front of Shang-Chi, the IMAX or something? I think it might have been Shang-Chi. Or Eternals, actually. It showed like a 15-minute opening prologue about like the origins of the Indominus Rex. Or just like basically pre-meteorite prehistoric life. All CG.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was fucking amazing. None of that was in the movie. Yeah, so and they said they're not gonna release it. Yeah,
why?
Maybe in the movie. That's like the only world. That's why. It's like such false marketing for the movie. I was like, wow, this is like the care intention is like, are we gonna get this in the like?
I thought that was like the movie. I thought that was like, this is dinosaurs have just been out and about in the real world,
and they're the central focus. No, it's not.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Boo.
So I was saying like stuff like that. It's like this just proves to fucking Colin Trevorrow. So, like dinosaurs, they could just be fascinating to watch by themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the reception from the show has been like, I've pretty much heard nothing but good things.
Yeah.
Except I saw one comment on a video where someone was just like, I feel like this show caters more to people who care about accuracy. And it's like, yeah. It's like, yeah. Yes. Why is that? Is that a bad thing? It's like they're not as scary as they used to be. And it's like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? They're fucking terrifying.
Like, if anything, it's scarier because it's like you see how real they were, you know? Like, it's like I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so let's move on to the next episode. Freshwater.
Yeah.
So we see Velociraptors hunting on a cliffside. Which is really cool. Again, makes sense. They have these long tails, these feathers that work as counterbalances. They'd probably be really fast and nimble and being able to like work on these crazy like cliff sides. And they're hunting the pterosaurs, which is really cool.
I also love this one, the Tyrannosaurus, another mating thing. Remember he
Yeah.
had the wounds and stuff, but his wounds and his size somehow, especially his wounds, somehow made him attractive to another Tyrannosaurus who was ready to battle for the ground.
Yeah,
But he
chicks
was-
dig scars, you know.
Yeah, so he's just like he just lifted his tail like, bro. I was like, I would rather fuck than fight. She's like, I would also like to fuck. Good for scars, which is great.
I love that they had that, like, again, that detail. It's like he's missing the tip of his tail. Like
Yeah.
these dinosaurs are very battle hardened. You know, they've been through a lot of shit. Really cool. They show
And the Dinokyrus.
yes,
Yeah, the one that's eating the swamp like thing. Dude, fucking that might be my favorite like duck looking dinosaur ever.
it looks so cool because it looks like it has like almost like a fur coat essentially, but it's like it's got a giant duck bill. It looks like a giant dinosaur duck.
Yeah.
That's like, again, just living in the swamps, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just it was so well done. Again, the detail looks so realistic, and yeah, it's like I feel like
and
I
also
could
just
really
showing
find this
like
thing.
his daily activities of trying to scratch his back from all these flies that's biting him,
Yeah.
which is great. Just like him finding a tree and scratching and stuff like that. Like just seeing minuscule life. Like I became more invested in his fucking fly thing than I've seen in like a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah. What's Femel Quetzalcoatl's?
Oh, right. Remember that in the forest, like this, I forgot this bird-looking dinosaur, the Quetzalcoatlus or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's building a nest, but then another Quetzalcoatlus was just like was also building a nest, and she's like, there's not enough food for all my babies, so she smashes all the fucking eggs. And then I was just like, wow, what a bitch.
Hardcore, dude.
Yeah. And no, not even that. She ate some of the eggs too, and you see like the blood squirt out of the egg. Oh gosh, I was like, damn, this is like brutal.
It's very brutal. Yeah, it's like, again, it's like I also like the little details of like them showing animals that
Right.
or bugs or plants that we still have today, but like also existed back then, and it's just kind of blows your mind, like the scale of that, of just like, oh yeah, crabs, crabs were around back then, and crabs looked mostly like crabs.
Yeah, because they survived they could survive anything.
Yeah, like these insanely hardy animals that just existed back then. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. here.
That was fucking hilarious when she just smashed the egg.
Yeah, for real. It's like, nope, this is my land.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get into Ice Worlds, another visually
Dude,
really stunning
Ice
episode.
was fucking fantastic. Yeah, that one's oh gosh, when it was the Dromaeosaurus was the like I don't they look like raptors, but they're not really raptors or something.
Yes, the Dromaeosaurs. Those are ones like
Yeah.
the Dromaeosaurs are really cool.
And the Edmontosaurus herd, where they were just like walking and walking across the freezing river, which is super tense.
Yeah,
And then they were just stalking them little by little, and then they used nature as an element to stop the fight, as like they have like a internal pact to like, okay, we don't fuck with each other in the blizzard.
yeah,
that was probably my second favorite, other than like the what's it called, the hatchlings on their first flight. Yeah.
yeah. And then there's the male Ornithorhynchus or whatever. Those really cool looking like ostrich-like dinosaurs. They're like very like bright blue heads, and again very colorful. Again, I like that. Again, they inject like that realism where it's like these are descendants of, or birds are descendants of these creatures, you know. And birds are just visually stunning creatures,
Right.
like probably some of the most diverse and colorful looking animals like on our planet besides like insects. So it's like logic would stand to say that like these animals would also at least have splashes of color and like, you know, just a good diverse like palette. It's so cool to see that they like injected that in there and just they're bright and fascinating to look at. Okay.
Oh, and then the Allura Titan, which was just like the one with like the mosquitoes were killing the offspring and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Again, hardcore, dude. But it's like, again, there's like a similar sequence in like what is it? I think it's in Planet Earth or one of the other David Attenborough BBC documentaries where it's like there's like basically a desert area where there's like an oasis, but in that oasis it's like swarming with flies. These flies that like sting and bite and whatever, and they're just trying to get whatever moisture they can, and a lot of it is also, you know, just from the blood of like different animals that come to this like this area to just drink some water and everything. And it's like, yeah, it's a very harsh world out there.
I also like that they use insects as like, insects is also just like another natural enemy for these dinosaurs and stuff that they deal with.
Yeah.
But not the focus, like Jurassic World Dominion. Not the focus. It's a dinosaur fucking documentary. Yeah.
It's like it's like mosquitoes have been a pest for a very, very
Can't
long
imagine
time.
plot twist. Episode 2, the mosquitoes kill all the dinosaurs. Now it's about the mosquitoes roaming around. I was like, in all the ice world. Fuck, that would have been terrible.
And then there's a Troodon that hunts mammals, like again, little wimpy mammals that are like hiding in the forest and everything, using
right.
fire. Awesome. And that's cool because it's like, all right, is there any direct evidence of them doing that? Probably not. But there are other animals that will do that. Like there are hawks, I think, in Australia and like other parts of the world. Again, descendants of dinosaurs and everything, or just mammals that have, or birds and different predators that have learned to harness fire to be able to flush out small animals. And it's like, that's awesome and terrifying. Like that's horrifying. Yeah.
Oh. And then this, what's it called? Well, that's pretty much all I have to say in the ice world. Do you have any last more things you want to go into the last episode?
No, let's go to the last one.
All right, the forest. Okay, so one of the things in the forest that I think probably one of my favorite sequences. They show it in the intro a bunch, like night vision of the Triceratops in the cave.
Yeah.
When the whole sequence of the Triceratops in the cave just looked absolutely fantastic and like dark, and you see just a little bit, and also like the offspring who's eating like the clay or something to protect his digestive system from whatever the toxins of the plants.
Yeah.
Just seeing like what they have to do to adapt to their environment to digest their food. It's like I do like learning new things about that, even though they're not like they're real, but they're just not here around.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then just different kinds of what else is that going? What else is going on there? Oh, the Archoraptor. The again eating the setting fires and everything. What a little rapscallion that guy is.
And we already talked about the Carnotaurus with this little like
the Carnotaurus,
the mating stuff, which was I think the highlight of that episode.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
absolutely. And then and they show the ankylosaurs or whatever, the Titan. Like the super armored heavyweight dinosaurs that like you just don't fuck with. Those things will like just annihilate you. They got spikes and plates and a giant boulder basically attached to their tail that they'll just whip at you. So yeah, overall, I had a fun time watching this entire series. It was great, fascinating. Only criticisms is a lot of times the episodes just kind of end. Like,
it just ends for next time. It's like,
just very abruptly. I'm just like, oh, okay.
For more scientific research, look at the page.
Yeah, go on to Prehistoric Planet show page.
With the latest imaging technology. Okay, I'm gonna stop. wait. Okay, first, before I get into like just shouting out to the guys, favorite dinosaur in the series and favorite episode.
Ooh, okay. So this is really tough because I'm gonna go hang out with my parents for like Father's Day, and I want to show this show to my dad. So I'm like trying to think of like what's my favorite episode that I want to show him. Like what's the one that like I really want to like really just get him into. It's hard to say and like not to say coasts, just because it is the first episode for a good reason. You see the Tyrannosaurus like swimming and everything. You get to see the Mosasaur, awesome, and the hunting sequence. But at the same time, the desert has a lot of like really cool striking imagery and everything. I don't know. I'm gonna say, man, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say the desert sequence. Seeing the Dreadnoughtus like fighting with each other with the other males, that was just really dope.
Was really cool. For me, it might be Ice Worlds. Just the opening sequence with the Dromaeosaurus trying to stalk the Edmontosaurus herd across the freezing river and stuff. I feel like that just sold me for that episode, and it was just one of the coolest looking episodes too.
Yeah, it really was. It was really good.
Favorite dinosaur? I think mine. It's cheating, but the Dinosaurus. It's a weird looking duck creature that I liked. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Carnotaurus. Carnotaurus is always just really cool.
This is my number 2. That actually looks really dope.
It's like one of the only predators like in animal history that has like horns actually, and they're not entirely sure why they have horns. Probably to fight off other males, possibly. Who knows? But it's just one of those fascinating mysteries of nature, and they just look really badass. and they just have these little dinky little arms.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. The way he moved his arms too.
Yeah.
And then, oh gosh, it's like, and it was nice to see like a softer side to that Carnotaurus.
Yeah, because like in the movie Dinosaur, the Disney one back in the day,
there's assholes and not speaking assholes.
They're just like constantly, like they're the only animals that don't speak.
I know, for some reason they somehow lost the ability to speak compared to everybody else.
Yeah, everyone else is like having full blown, emotional conversations and arcs, and then meanwhile Carnotaurus is just just attacking and killing, and they're
just that hardcore, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And this one's just like dispels that. It's like, we have a soft side too.
Yeah.
All right, real shout out to the other executive producer, Mike Gunton, who is basically the creative director of BBC Studios Natural History Unit, and has been a big proponent of these type of documentaries. I really applaud you for this. And he also was executive producer of Life, which is a fantastic documentary.
Yeah.
And we already mentioned David Attenborough. We don't need to suck his dick anymore. He's great though. I will be really sad because just recently, I think like Philip Baker Hall died too.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it's just like a lot of just like older celebrities of that age are dying out. So I'll be very pleased, David Attenborough, just like take some type of super juice, live to 150 or something. I would add that would actually break my heart if he did pass.
Yeah, don't even say it.
I'm not
He's fine. He's fine.
He's fine. And huge things to the directors who they weren't directors before, but their lead Adam Valdez, who's a lead visual effects supervisor. This guy was a beast. Like 10,000 BC. I didn't like the film, but the visual effects was fantastic.
Yeah.
John Carter, The Jungle Book, and the Lion King documentary.
Yeah. He also worked on like the Fellowship of the Ring, Jurassic Park. Like he's been around, so good for him.
And same thing for Andrew R. Jones. He got nominated for Oscars for the iRobot, Avatar, The Jungle Book, and the Lion King documentary, and he won for Avatar. What's it called? It's a documentary, guys. It's not a film, And also they're them just like swinging their big dicks on. Like they got like I think 15 series consultants, but the big ones are Steve Broussard, Darren Nalsh, Mark P. Whitten, who is also responsible for a lot of the drawings that illustrations that are on like museums, especially the one in like New York or so. Yeah, how we visualize dinosaurs, and David Krentz, who was the director of Dinosaur Revolution, and most importantly, the people who did the brunt of the work. I mean, like I said, everybody pulled in their weight, but really the moving picture company, MPC, which Adam and Andrew also work for, who did the visual effects and CGI for this, fantastic.
Honestly, yeah, like it's stunning work. And for other paleontologist people or just like fascinating, like, if this like interests you at all, go check out like Trey the Explainer on YouTube. He's awesome. I watch his stuff all the time. He does great work where he talks about like paleontology and things like that.
What was that again? Trey the Explainer.
Okay. Yeah. And there's also like PBS Eons, and there's so many more that I'm not mentioning and I'm forgetting in this moment that I wish I'd written down beforehand. But like, there's great guys out there that do great work and they talk about, all kinds of stuff. So go check them out. Go watch this show, please. Share it to your loved ones. Whatever.
Please, just like fucking force them, grab their fucking hair and be like, "Watch this show, bitch."
Yeah, maybe don't do that, but
that's what you have to do with some people. You gotta stop them fucking around. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I don't condone violence against your partners or your family or friends or loved ones or anybody or yourself.
Yeah.
Unless you hate this documentary, then I condone violence against yourself.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. Thank you. Oh, ratings. You know what? I'm just gonna straight up in the museum because I don't think anything else. I don't think we could see anything like this for. This will set the standard for dinosaur media, I think, forever.
Yeah.
Like anything that's not up to this standard, I'm like, it sucks. Jurassic World, it sucks.
It's definitely it holds the new. It is the new Rex of dinosaur media. It's fantastic. I can't wait for them. Like this series, what I'm so excited about is that they can do so many other things. There's so many other eras of like even just dinosaurs alone. They existed for like I forget how many like millions and like hundreds of millions of years they were around. So there was by the time we're watching this series of whenever this when this series takes place, there were already like thousands and millions of other species that had gone extinct by this point. So it's like we can see the Ice Age. We can see like the even before that, the Age of Fish or the age of bugs, where it's like
Right.
you can see all kinds of different when bugs ruled the world, when amphibians were king. Dope. So yeah, I'm gonna put this one in the museum for sure. I hope the series continues. Dinosaurs are really dope. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
So what about with Apple TV Plus, who beat Netflix, has been in the game for almost a decade or more than that for Best Picture, and they also got Ted Lasso, who actually got Best Comedy, and they have Pachinko and this.
Yeah,
Are they a new now premier streaming service in your eyes?
I don't know yet. I think they still have a little ways to go because I spent the other day just trying to like just browse on Apple TV. I was like, let me just look at what's available right now, and there's not as much content there as I really was wanting for. There's
There's
the
a
new
lot.
content.
There's like For All Mankind, which we'll cover one day on the show, which I heard is
Yeah.
fantastic. And
But
stuff.
I'm just saying, like, even just like older stuff, like stuff that I just kind of like want to just throw on or watch.
Oh yeah.
It's
They're
not-
all about new content because they're a new thing.
yeah, which so it's not quite there yet, but like
Well, for
man,
the price,
they're
$4.99.
very close. Yeah, no, they're doing pretty damn well.
Yeah,
I'll say.
with Netflix just thinking about raising the prices again, apparently.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. I actually after this, I have cemented, and I'm seeing For All Mankind that I like the approach they're taking, which is it might not even matter because they'll buy Netflix probably, but they're taking the HBO approach of quality over quantity
Yeah.
and making premiere series day by day. I'm excited. Please make more of this. And you know what? Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Half a Clue Movie Review. And we like to play songs while, in our intro and outros now, we're experimenting new things. And thank you guys really for listening to every episode.
Yeah, for real. Thanks, guys. All
Goodbye.
right, guys. Have a good one. Bye.